in action. Some other news that we want to get to when it comes to the Walt Disney World theme parks is the sudden announcement, and not even really an announcement, more of a listing, and people are learning about it as we go. And that is that the Walt Disney World theme parks are trimming their hours for the first time since officially reopening back in July. It looks like going into September, there are going to be some changes when it comes to certain theme park operating days, trimmed by an hour or two here and there based on where you are headed. Already, these theme parks are at a reduced hour capacity, especially for summertime. We're seeing that right now, Epcot opens at 11. I mean, it doesn't even open earlier than that. Everything seems to be staggered, by the way. So you have Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park opening up at 8 a.m. You have Magic Kingdom opening up at 9 a.m. You have Epcot, as I had mentioned, opening up at 11. And then it sounds like you have Hollywood Studios opening up at 10. It sounds like now Epcot is going to be trimmed by a few hours at the end of its operating day. You have Magic Kingdom that's also going to be trimmed both at the beginning and potentially the end based on what's happening. So just knowing that a couple of hours are being trimmed here and there going into September, I don't think necessarily, and it's good to have context here, typically going into that time of year, September to begin with, hours do get reduced. So we want to be clear that that's normal. However, hours are already reduced as they have gone through their phased reopening process. And this is something that if you are looking to plan a trip to Walt Disney World during this global health crisis and you're planning on spending that money, it seems to go back into that category of like, oh, well, another reduction, another check in the box of maybe this isn't worth it after all, because now my park day is even more limited than before. It sounds like September 8th is when that goes into effect. Katrina, what do you think?
You don't need a full day at Hollywood Studios anyway, so that's a positive note. But Epcot kind of surprised me because they're closing at 7.
Yeah.
And normally they stay open until 9, and I always loved staying until like the very, very end until they're kind of like scooting you out and being like, all right, it's time to go.
The security guard starts standing at bridges.
Yeah, because it's just so peaceful. But and again, yeah, if you're a first timer going to Disney World, this is not a good time to go. If you're an annual pass holder and you already know what you're gonna do for the day, it's gonna be better for you. Ticket prices are still the same, but again, with people with like the reduced capacity, but then like the really like reducing in time too. People are still getting on rides, and then I'm seeing people say that they've been riding like the same ride multiple times over and over and over again. So don't think that you're not going to be able to get on all the rides but because they're like reducing their hours. I'm sure you're still going to be able to get on like most of the rides that you want to go on. So yeah.
There's that. And Garrett, knowing that a lot of these parks are now going to be reduced in some hours here and there, from the perspective of somebody who is an annual pass holder and who already is limited in how many days a month he can attend a Disney theme park in terms of overall experience, does that deter you at all, these reduced hours, or were you already just dropping in for a few?
I don't think it deters me. It saddens me, but the way things are, you can definitely do the parks in that short amount of time. Heck, Hollywood Studios is only a half-day park, honestly. So even with reduced hours, I'll still be able to get everything. As long as you can get on Rise of the Resistance and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, you're pretty much going to be able to get everything done. But as an annual pass holder, it really stinks, that's the scientific word I'm using, that I can only get 3 reservations at one time for Walt Disney World. So it's sort of a gamble where do I try and reserve stuff in the future, but then I don't get to go as often, or do I roll the dice and be like, okay, today I'm going to go to Epcot for the 5th time in a row. Let's do that. So it's really tough for annual pass holders, but annual pass holders aren't the ones that spend money in the parks. Annual pass holders just go for a few hours like me, check it out, and then they go home. So
gotta eat at the restaurants, man. You gotta support the restaurants now.
I might have to do that finally. I might have to start spending money at the restaurants. So it's okay that I just hope that with them shortening the hours, they're using that extra time in an effective way, such as disinfecting, wiping down, cleaning, doing repairs, so that way we don't have more incidents with attractions or that sort of thing. But it stinks. It really does stink. So hopefully, the worst part about it is that I'm going to get there when the sun is up, and I'm going to leave before the sun even goes down. I used to do where I could go home at night and it'd be nice and cool. Now it's just hot nonstop throughout the day, so that's really bad.
Yeah, that's a huge plus, but definitely something to consider if you are planning a trip to Walt Disney World at any point in the coming months. Obviously, things like park hours can be adjusted on the fly, so it's important to always check the My Disney Experience app and WaltDisneyWorld.com ahead of your trip before making any big plans. So just something to keep in mind if you are planning out any sort of trip in the near future, that hours are going to be reduced starting September the 8th. So we are going to see some reductions on both ends, morning and night, depending on the park. All right. It looks like, according to WDW News Today, they've reached out to a couple of different individuals on the front of the Disney chat bot that you can speak to a cast member when it comes to the website itself and the My Disney Experience app. You can speak to a cast member on the go if you'd like. And you know what they're saying? They've asked outright, is Halloween coming to Walt Disney World? We've learned recently that the Halloween parties at Magic Kingdom have been canceled, obviously, but cast members on multiple occasions, upon WDW News Today reaching out and asking about it, confirmed that Halloween decorations are coming to the Magic Kingdom. And so this is something we're celebrating, something that's great to hear, because this has been on a lot of people's minds. A lot of the Disney diehards that are super excited about the idea of potentially visiting in the fall. You know, there is something very special about Walt Disney World during that period of time, Halloween in general. We've learned, you know, obviously Universal has canceled all of their horror parties, and Halloween's a big business for a lot of these theme parks. And so to know that Magic Kingdom is still at least going to decorate, I think is really nice to have that added. Plus, because it's a sense of charm, it's a sense of magic that's added on top of everything. And I mean, to a greater degree, Tyler, I think it's a sense of normalcy.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I'm stoked they're doing it. I think that's like kind of an easy thing. I feel like they should definitely do that. I don't know why they wouldn't. So I'm glad they're doing it. I'm Christmas too, because I mean, the only reason to go to Hollywood Studios during Christmas is to go and see their Christmas decorations. So you know, I mean, I love the Echo Lake stuff and everything. So I'm sure they're going to be doing it for Christmas as well. But yeah, it's a sign of, it's a good sense of normalcy, like you just said. So I'm glad they're doing it.
Do you have any sort of Halloween traditions, you or Katrina, when it comes to Florida? I mean, obviously a lot has been canceled. But.
Yeah, unfortunately, most of my Halloween traditions are canceled. But yeah, we don't really do. I'm trying to think of anything.
Halloween Horror Nights, and then that's my day to sit back, relax, and grab a drink and sit in the hotel room and chill.
Yeah.
And we would go
Rest my feet.
we would go to like Not So Scary and stuff like that, which kind of, I hate to say it, but as time went on, I felt like it was becoming more repetitive to us.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Disneyland's Not So Scary, or like Not So Scary. That's not the
Yeah,
world
Oogie
name for
Boogie
it.
Bash.
The Oogie Boogie Bash was a lot more charming than at Disney World. We did it for a couple years, but then we realized the candy at Disneyland is way better than the one at Disney World, and you get
1,000%.
tons more.
Yeah.
So we just kind of we did it because it was fun to do all the rides, because a lot of people were getting candy. We would watch the Halloween. I love the fireworks show for Halloween, and I love the parade.
And I think
we did.
the Sanderson
Yeah.
sisters were
Oh
a
my
really
God.
good reason to go to Disney World. I think that was probably my best reason to go to Not So Scary, is the Sanderson sisters.
It was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, the first time I saw that show when they first brought them back, I was like, it was like being a kid again, because that Hocus Pocus movie is fantastic.
That Bette Midler impersonator is
Oh,
so good.
they're also good.
She's-
They're also good. Like, it's almost like you're almost thinking like, is that Bette Midler? Like, you know, like I've definitely
It'd
thought.
be so funny if it was. If she like popped on, she's like,
Yeah.
"Hey guys!"
Does a cameo.
It's like what Johnny Depp did in like Pirates, you know, that kind of thing.
I would like that
would
very
be
much.
so
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
I wish they would do some Sanderson sister stuff out here in Disneyland, but
With Oogie Boogie.
yeah, and Oogie Boogie makes an appearance in their show, so
Yeah.
they should make an appearance in an Oogie Boogie show.
I
Let's
think
do
would
that.
be really
2021.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
Make it so.
Yeah,
Here, here. By
That's it.
royal decree of Katrina.
I like it.
Wow. Oh,
Oh, that was
oh my.
I
that was
know.
like an off
Oh.
with your
I should
head.
show you
That was
again.
like
One
a-
more time. Oh God.
That was like a Queen of Hearts
I
move.
mean,
right
I feel
there.
that right here when she does it. I don't know about you. Jeez. Ripple effect. Huh.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.